So I find it funny that like I did my video earlier about talking about Crystal Lake and how it's not dead, and talked about like I know some people have been asking like when are you going to talk about Kong Survival Instincts. I was like, well, I'm going to wait for like a full trailer to give my thoughts, and then we'll see what happens. And I thought the trailer was coming out like the 20th or the 21st. Nope, coming out today. Coming out today. And I called it too. Like I was like, well, sure enough, as soon as I do this video, it's gonna come out today. Sure enough, a few hours later, it comes out. And I know I didn't talk about it sooner. I was away. Sorry, but here I'm gonna talk about that and the other thing that got announced. So don't worry, that video is gonna be. We're gonna have some late night videos to do tonight. It's like the Late Show, only funnier. I've got better jokes. Anyway, so first off, let's talk about Kong Survival Instincts. Yeah. Now, in the Crystal Lake video, the previous one, I basically made the joke of, it can only go up from here after that Kong game from last year. It can only go up from here. I was wrong. I was so wrong. This game, now granted, could be fun. It does give me a lot of vibe of, like, what's that indie game, Little Monsters? You guys played that one? It reminds me a lot of Little Monsters, and it's like a neat little platform. But the gameplay looks so stiff. Like, I had to, like, double check, because then my first thought was, is this supposed to be an app game? Is this supposed to be on the app? And I was like, no, it's supposed to be for, like, Xbox and PS. This is a legit, like, a legit for game consoles. And I had to, like, it was like, when you first hear about Colin Farrell playing the Penguin, and you just go, huh, really? It's like that moment, right? It's like that. But, the gameplay did look pretty stiff in a lot of places, and and again, I haven't played the game, maybe it'll turn out better. I do like the idea that they, like a lot of the universe, they're building more of the universe. Although I will say, I'm like, where does this take place? Because, this isn't supposed to be, like, set before, God's GVK, is it? Because Kong was still on Skull Island. And it can't be, like, set post-GVK because Kong is in Hollow Earth and not coming up because Godzilla will throw a shit fit. So I'm wondering where in canon, in the MonsterVerse, this is for Kong. I was also wondering, like, they probably wanted to use Godzilla, but, like, I guess Toho was like, no. Or something of that matter. But again, also the game did give me vibes of when you, like, it does perspective of, like, you're playing this character who's looking for his daughter, and it puts you in a perspective of, like, Kong fighting Titanus Abaddon, who I'll talk about in a second, because I have some words to say on that. It reminded me a lot of City Shrouded in Shadow. Remember that game where it was, like, posted as one big crossover between all the major Tokusatsu projects, like Evangelion, Godzilla, Ultraman, even Patlabor was there, Gamera, and when they do those perspectives, like, trying to avoid, like, the environmental stuff, so I thought that was neat when it was, but I was kind of hoping this would be, like, you play as Kong kind of game. Maybe you still can. I have heard, like, two different things. Oh, you avoid Kong and Abaddon's fight, or you can play as Kong as well in some levels. I've heard that. I think also, side note, just to throw this out here, I think we can all agree the Peter Jackson Kong game is goated. Like, straight up. Like, that, I still have that game. Like, I legit still have that game. I will play it every so often because that, the Peter Jackson Kong game is just fucking goated. It is the best King Kong game of all time. I don't even think that's up for debate. So let's talk about, I guess move on now to Titanus Abaddon. Abaddon is a big spider. And I'm not saying this because I don't like spiders. It's kind of a boring design, really. When you think Abaddon, you think of either, like, a big demon or you think the Despoiler. Sorry, that's the only Warhammer joke I'll do. But yeah, when they were building up that Titanus Abaddon was going to be the big villain of the story, and also Tiamat is going to be in the story. So this is before. I know this was set before GXK. So Titanus Tiamat is going to be here too. But let's talk about Abaddon. Abaddon, like making him just a big spider, really feels underutilized. Like I was really hoping for some more imagination, because when Abaddon is like a demon, a fallen angel, you could have done something cool to like how he's designed is like how we like what inspired like Satan in this universe. Like his depiction could have been like like how people thought of Satan, like a big winged goat monster. Go all out. You named it after a demon. You just made it a big spider with a mouth. I just feel like it just feels a little like, yeah, I know like it's supposed to be like a reference to Kumanga, but at the same time, I'm very much like, man, this feels like it's and I don't mind a giant spider monsters. I don't mind giant spider kaiju. I was just like, I felt like I was just hoping the name would fit like a wild description for the Titan. It just feels like it was a swing and a miss for like putting a face to that name, and it just feels like, oh, spider. Okay, it's not like Kong's fought those enough. Anyway, and I will also say it is cool that they are bringing back the villain Jonah from King of the Monsters. I think that's really cool. But at the same time, I'm just like, the gameplay looks really stiff, and I don't know how much, if at all, I don't know how much or if at all you're gonna play as Kong. But again, you know, I've seen, you know, if anything, the universe has taught me is that wait until you play the game or watch the movie and then give full judgment. But as it stands right now, I'm just kind of like, man, I had expectations, and they weren't high, but they weren't this low either. Anyway. So you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of the trailer for Kong Survival Instincts? Did you guys like it, hate it? Do you guys like the design for Abaddon, or were you hoping for something else? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time for Multiverse.